Part 3 by Nutnfancy, talking about the Kimber Pro Carry TLE II LG model with laser grips. I'm talking about the availability of accessories for these two 1911s in comparison to other designs. And what my point is, you probably don't need a lot of accessories for this gun because it comes outfitted so thoroughly from the Kimber factory. Like I said, it's got that skeletonized target hammer, which used to be a very customized accessory. Extended beavertail grip safety, don't have to change that out. Fine checkering on the front strap, also on the back strap. And I'm going to say right here, this is some of the best checkering I've seen on any production gun. I don't care what kind it is. It's very fine, very grippy and purposeful. I love how your hand just locks in on that grip of the Kimber. It's just friggin' outstanding. In comparison, and look for my review of this gun as well, this is a Taurus PT 1911, and look at the differences in checkering between the two guns. On the left is the Taurus, a very high value quality 1911, don't get me wrong, but the checkering is in a different league altogether with the Kimber. And you can see the quality, the attention to detail that I made reference to in part 1. Just amazing. And that attention to detail goes throughout the entire pistol. It's just tight. So nice checkering on the forward and back portions of the grip. You won't have to add that. Skeletonized trigger. This one's an aluminum one. I would like to see them radius these sharp edges a little bit. It's not super comfortable. It's not bad, but it is a sharp edge on the edge there, just truth be told. Talked about the bushingless heavy match barrel. That's not an upgrade that you'll have to do, already done. How's those sights? Well, the TLE II comes with night sights, tritium inserts, very Novak looking sights. I think they're proprietary Kimbers though, and they're outstanding. It's got that serrated front to minimize reflection. Nice 3-dot sight picture, which is very fast should you have the time in your shooting scenario. Rugged profile for ease of carry so they won't snag on anything. I'll show you a difference on the PT 1911 that they do with their sights to allow you to cock it to slide with their design. But I like this. I like the radius snag proof sight designs. Lowered and flared ejection port, talked about that earlier. Beveled magwell, that's already done with these Kimber models. In other words, this is a beveled portion that helps feed the magazine in for a quicker reload. And then finally, in this particular model, it has the crimson laser grips on it. These olive drab grips are actually from Crimson Trace, as you can see here. That's what the Pro Carry TLE LG stands for, laser grip. And I'll just make a quick review of these. I think they're outstanding. And the cool thing is here's your switch. You can actually turn the grips on and off if you need to. You don't have to leave them on. So right now, I do believe I have them on. Nope, I turned them off. Maybe I didn't. There we go. Anyways, when you grip the pistol in a normal fashion, there's your laser dot. Now, real quick, how does Nutnfancy feel about lasers? In a concealed carry gun, I like them. I think a laser has a lot of intimidation capability, has a lot of training utility. As we dry fire the gun, we can see if and how we are jostling our sight picture as we bounce that laser dot up and down at maybe 10, 15 yards. It's an excellent training tool. And heck, for any situation, I would love the option, as long as I can turn it off. That way I don't have to always use it. So if now with it off, I can grasp the gun. I don't have a laser. It's just ops normal now. That's nice. By the way, the grips on this TLE II are excellent. The nicely checkered, nice grip. I like the material of them too. It's not slick. It's not too hard. Just like Goldilocks, it's just right. And I love that OD color as well. I love these Crimson Trace grips. They're excellent. They are going to add a lot of cost to this design though. Probably around 2 bones if you ask me. About $200 at least. They're not a cheap option. Your actuation button, by the way, for the Crimson Trace right here. So as I grasp on the beavertail grip safety and I get a nice good lockup on my grip, that middle finger right here is going to be the actuator for those laser grips. Also, keep in mind the it emanates from right here. So sometimes you may have seen this, I have my finger in the way. So that's a training issue in which you'd have to make sure you're not obstructing your crimson trace. But again, that's just a little bit of practice. You can say, you know what, I've got to hold that trigger finger exactly parallel to the trigger guard so I don't obstruct the beam of my laser. So that's a really cool and useful accessory on this Pro TLE II by Kimber. So this has basically all the accessories you'll need. I mean, what else would you need? It doesn't have a dust cover for the attachment of a light. With a 4-inch 1911, is that necessary? Heck no. I think that's fine not having that. This again is the Pro Carry II, and it has basically all the same modifications I showed you of the other one, sans laser grip. These again are just the hard rubber grips with standard diamond checkering. Not too bad, good grip, nice and grippy. It has the same checkering on the front and back straps. I lied, no checkering on the front. So that's a cost saving measure here. Notice how that's smooth, but they do have the back strap checkered. So accessories, you're not going to need much. Should you need much, 1911s have basically everything. Triggers, sights, grips. You could change these two guns out to basically suit whatever you wanted. Very few gun platforms match the wide range of accessories as a 1911. All right, let's talk about track record of these guns. How have they been? Well, again, I'm not the end-all expert for 1911s or Kimber for that matter. I just have a lot of association through it and a few rounds myself through the guns as well. And everything that I know about Kimber 1911s is A+. I'm talking that they just function. LAPD SWAT has chosen the 1911 as their primary gun. So have the Marines Special Operations Command. And they use the 1911 from Kimber too. And that should say something. They haven't swapped from it at all. I think the SIS down there in LA uses them as well. There's other law enforcement departments that may not use Kimber brand, but they also use 1911s. So I don't think it rises to the level of a SIG or a Glock, truth be told. But the 1911s do have a following, and the ones that have used them with great success, and therefore it has amassed an impressive track record. Finally, we're going to talk about price, and I alluded to it earlier. They're not cheap guns. In comparison to other designs, I would say that these two Kimbers are pretty much low-value guns. In other words, we're paying a lot, we're getting a lot, and a high-value gun is where we're paying little and getting a lot. So, enough said on that. I spoke to it in an earlier segment. Just suffice it to say that you can buy the same type of firepower, same type of accuracy and reliability for a lot less. And that's a fact. It's just the way it is. Now, let's talk about, I talk a lot about practicality, going down my list of talking points on the 1911s. But like many things, there's a lot more to be said, and that is the intrinsic enjoyment, which is pretty much intangible, that a gun would give you. Do you dig it? Do you like holding it? Do you enjoy shooting it? Does it turn you on? And I would say that the Kimbers would pretty much max out that category. They are going to be like a fine watch in a 1911 version. That they're going to shoot very well. They're going to be nice to shoot. They're just going to give you enjoyment. And it's much harder for us to put a price tag on that. Just like a really nice knife, maybe if it's a Bradley Alias or a Sabenza, you may just dig it. And I can never criticize someone for buying a gun or a knife or a tent or a backpack for those reasons. So you need to hold these guns to appreciate them. The Kimbers are outstanding. And if I were to consider the 1911 in a carryable configuration for maybe concealed carry, maybe undercover officer's gun, I probably should go for 3-inch version undercover. But the 4-inch is probably my all-around favorite, and that's what you're looking at here. So, very accurate, very reliable, limited firepower, probably a little bit on the heavy side. They are expensive, but man, do they incorporate a lot of great, formally custom-only features. I think if you're looking for a 1911, you have the coin, and you want the best, look to these two models of Kimber, heck, any of the models of Kimber, whether it's the Pro TLE II or the Pro Carry. I think you'll be very, very happy as the years go by, and you'll be very well armed, especially since that's probably going to be a platform you can put rounds in the target with. That's Nutnfancy reviewing some awesome 1911s. Thanks for tuning in. More coming. Be good to each other and join the NRA today.